All right, well, we are over at the flea market here, and one of these just random pieces that I see sitting here on the table is this really cool old Pepsodent ad. I think this is really neat. It does have a few like little wrinkles and creases in it, but I think it's something somebody might be interested in, especially since it has the picture of the tube there. Might bring back some nostalgia for folks, so we'll see. What do you got on the poster? Okay.
They're all ready. Any of the posters are $5.
Okay.
Or
Okay. Oh, all right. Cool. So we got more posters. So let's see here. Let's get some spotting on the back. Ooh, whoa. Oh my God. Look at this. This is really cool. The Apple Dumpling. Oh, it's a Disney one. Apple Dumpling Gang. So he said 5 posters for 20. It's got a little tear on it, but I don't think that matters. What do we got here? Tim Conway. Remember Tim Conway was in like every movie. Don Knotts. I loved him when he played Mr. Furley on Three's Company. This is really cool. It's like classic kind of Disney art right there. I really like this. So let's see. So, wow. Okay, so again, the back, you know, I wish it didn't have spotting on it, but it's not going to matter for someone who wants to display it. All right, so I'm starting to explore other posters here, and this one here is a Mormon Trail poster. So basically, you know, it depicts this Midwestern to Western exploration with all these different images in it. I think it's a neat poster, but this would be about a $20 poster or so, and there's, you know, more than one of them. I don't think this would be the type of poster to invest in, but if we move over here to this area, this looks similar to this, so we may actually have multiples of the Disney poster. And look, we do have another one. So this is the second one. So yeah, anyway, so this is a second one, and does have a little tear there again, but wow, there's number 2. Let's see here, and look at this. See, there's more Pepsodent ones, but maybe, oh, there's a different Pepsodent. Is this a different one? No, it's the same one, it's just reversed. So maybe the Pepsodent ones aren't really the ones to invest in here. Maybe, look at this. I think we have more. I think we just hit the jackpot with Disney posters. I could tape this little part from behind. Just put a little bit of tape on it, and that should help. Look at that. So that's a third one, and just sell them off one by one. I've done this with posters before. Let's see, do we have, look at this. Oh my gosh. We have another one. So this is what? This is the third one, the fourth one? No rip. So I would try to sell this one first. So wait a minute, that's 1 Disney poster, 2 Disney posters, 3 Disney posters, 4 Disney posters. And look at this, 5 posters, and then 6 posters. And what do we got here? Don't even tell me we have a 7th one. Oh my gosh. 7 Disney posters. Oh my God. All right. All right, well, just the 11 by 14 version of this has sold for $30, and so this is much bigger than 11 by 14. I'm gonna have to take exact measurements, but I think I'm gonna skip the Pepsodent and just get these 7. Billy, how much for the 7 of these? 25? You got it. All right, $25. This is a Disney Jackpot score. I am super happy about this. What a surprise. Wow. And it all started with this Pepsodent poster, but hey, you never know, right? You just got to explore and dig around. Can't even believe it. Wow. All right, you're not going to believe this. The situation has just gotten so much better with these posters now that I came back to Primetime Treasure headquarters and have been able to do a little bit more research on these. Before I tell you what one of these sold for, I just want to give a shout out to the one and only Bill Bixby. Shout out to Incredible Hulk. Love Bill Bixby. These posters, by the way, I know you can't feel them, but they're made of a cardstock material, so they're more sturdy than the other size of original movie posters that you will come across more commonly. Those ones are typically vertical, and they are 27 by 41 inches. However, this one is 22 by 28. It's less common, and it's known as a half sheet. Now, half sheets were often hung in the theaters, and they're way easier to frame. They were in the theaters in like the early to mid 20th centuries. That's where they were, more common. So collectors will often pay up big time for half sheets. Now, in terms of a prior sold comp, I found using Terapeak that one of these half sheets for the Apple Dumpling Gang movie poster sold in April of 2024 for $190. That includes the shipping, which was about $6 or so. That is insane. And I got 7 of them for $25. Now, does that mean because that one in April sold for around $190, does that mean I'm going to get $190 out of this one? No. A couple reasons for that. As you recall, when I showed you these, some of them have some tears on the side, and so that's going to affect the condition. Obviously, condition affects price, and I don't know what the condition was of the one that sold on Terapeak because all I could see is a little thumbnail, and I don't know anything about the condition. So under the assumption that this one is not in as good condition as the one that sold for $190, and since it is a fairly obscure movie, I listed it for $150. Now, does that mean it's going to sell for $150? No. You have to keep in mind too, how many Apple Dumpling movie fans are out there that are willing to pay $150 to $200 for one of these posters. They're obviously out there. I mean, one person just bought one, but how many of them are out there? Are there 7 more? Maybe, maybe not. These are the types of things you have to factor in when you're deciding about pricing, because you don't want to keep it up forever. So I'll start at $150, but over time, if it doesn't sell, I'll lower it. And I'm sure eventually you'll see what it wound up selling for. But it might sell for $125. It might sell for $100. Now, I'm not sure. But it's better than what I was originally thinking, that it would sell for over $35. But at that time, at the flea market, I wasn't thinking there was a potential for over $100 on these. So we'll see what happens with them, but very exciting. There they were, just sitting there, laying there, and I can't believe how many of them there were. These must have come out of an old theater or something, I'm guessing. I don't know. But wow, what a find. And if you think that this is a great find, we are just getting started. Wait until you see this next item. This is going to be a blast from the past for a lot of the ladies out there. Or maybe you might have used this when you were younger, or your mom or one of your relatives. Wait to see this. Or for the guys, might have been one of your wives back in the day, or your mom. Check this out. Oh wow, look at this. We've got an old-fashioned GE hair dryer. You just do not come across something like this often, especially with the box. I mean, this is the real selling point right here. This was a display box back in the day, as you can see here. This thing is incredible. Now, you might be used to the modern day hairdryer, but look at how they did this back then. It came in this little kit, and look at that. See the side there, how it opened up like that? So there you've got the plug there. So we got to test this to see if it will work. But so you plug it in, and then you've got some air, it looks like, that comes out of here. And then this is like some tube attachment as well. So the tube would go in here, I think. Did anyone watching this use this back in the day? I don't have much hair, so would not have much use for this. Plus, I don't think that this was designed for guys, but this is interesting. We're gonna plug this in. You can see there's a dial here and see if it works. It might be worth just picking it up anyway, just for the display box, because the cost is only $1 for this. So, but I'm still curious to see if it works. So, yeah, let's go check it out. There's a plug where we could check it out. All right, so here we go. There's the plug. You can see it's pretty big here. We're gonna plug it in right there. And let's see. Ooh, yep. Here it's coming out. So the air is blowing out of there, and it's nice and warm too. So, yeah, this thing still works. This is great. So I could say it's tested, works, just $1. Yeah, let's pick this up. Wow, what a find. And this tab does snap back in, which is where the tube is. So, wow, I am just blown away by this, no pun intended. So, I did find a sold comp for a later version of this that has a blue cover, and it doesn't have a lady whatsoever on it, and that one sold for $50 plus shipping. So I hope I could get more out of it than 50. I don't know, maybe we'll try 75 or more, I don't know. But this thing, you just do not come across this often, so I am just, again, no pun intended, but blown away by this. The lovely ladies coming through for prime time once again. All right, so we're back at PTHQ, and Mrs. Primetime filled me in more about how this device actually works. So you do attach that tube to the vent that blows out, and that would attach to what is in here on the bottom. And that's right, I did find the original instructions, and there you could see the setup of how it works. And this would go on top of the head to dry the hair. So you could see this is the connector piece right there for the tube. That's the other side of it. And it actually still has the original bag inside as well. So this is great. I mean, this just makes it extra valuable, including having these original instructions. So there you go. It shows the setup here. And it does have a depiction here at the end of what it would look like there in terms of, you know, putting it on. So let me know in the comments if you ever used something like this, mindful that you will likely date yourself. I wonder who actually still uses something like this. Like, I just wonder, does anyone know anyone who still uses something like this? Mrs. Primetime told me that women would put, you know, curlers on and then put this on top and, you know, do their hair. So my mother-in-law used to have hair like this back in the day. So overall, I hope this brings memories to a lot of people watching this. This is just such a cool item. The flea market keeps paying off. What an amazing find. All right, you are not going to believe this deal. These are two finds that came out of an old barn this summer, according to the flea market vendor. If you're a Boston Celtics fan or knows of someone who is, they might be very interested in this item I'm gonna pick up for just 10 bucks. It was a promotional item by Citgo back in the day, 6 sensational Celtics. Now, it was sealed, but he took the vendor took a knife just to cut this open and to show what was inside of here. So I'm gonna take these out here and you'll get to see what's in here. So we've got Bob Cousy, Mr. Basketball himself. We've got Tom Sanders, not a famous player there. Tom Heinsohn, not famous either. Big Red, Dave Cohen's a little more popular. Sam Jones, a little bit more popular. Paul Silas, later on became an NBA coach, so more popular there. So I think a Celtics fan would like these. So these came out 1989, 1990-ish. I don't see any examples of any sold comps on this, so I'll just pick it up for the 10 bucks. Now, if that sounds like a good deal, wait until you see the deal underneath it. So there's this giant stack of, put that to the side there, old daily racing forms. Now, I used to sell these back in the day at Penny Pantry in Freehold, New Jersey, because we had a famous racetrack, Freehold racetrack, and the Meadowlands wasn't too far away either. And I was into horse racing back then. So, you know, we used to put these up in the store and sell the daily racing forms. So it is very, 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 very hard to find ones from the 1940s. Look at this, 1943. I've seen like an issue of the daily racing form from like the 90s. This one has a little crease in it. Sell for like, you know, an individual issue, sell for 45 bucks or so. So, you know, I thought the price on this would be pretty high, but I asked him, you know, how much he wants for all this, and he said, are you waiting for this? So I'm like, okay. He goes, 10 bucks for all of them. So $10 for the entire lot. This thing is absolutely huge. Sorry, I'll get that out of your way there. So we'll put these in here. They're mostly complete. There's some ones here that are like, you know, a little bit like broken apart, like something like this, you know, I don't know. So there might be just some like random pages and maybe some things I could clip out and sell. But most of these are complete issues from 1943. There are a few from 1944 that I saw, but you know, I think these could do really well. Now, this is going to be something that's going to be a long-term type of project for me to work on. You know, I'll just list them one at a time here or there. I'll try to get one listed by the time the video is made so you can get a sense of what I put them up for. But you cannot miss on this for 10 bucks. So, you know, I'm getting better scores at the flea market, to be honest, than I was getting at estate sales. I mean, at this point. So this has been an interesting adaptation, you know, as estate sales have slowed down in this area, especially over the winter time. So my goodness, I'm gonna pick up this entire lot, just trying to show as many of them as I can to you. And yeah, I don't want it to slip off there. So you get the hint, you get the idea. And yeah, we're gonna get this for, it would be a total $20 purchase. Wow. All right, well, here's something you don't come across too often. You might think that I would be seduced over to the lovely lady over here, but actually she was telling me to go take a look at this, which I've seen at this booth before. Now, this is amazing. You just don't see this every day. In fact, I've never seen it at all. Fantastic Adventures I have, but this is the 720 pager. Back in the day, this was 35 cents. Now, Fantastic Adventures was a very popular pulp series, but you know, the reason why I passed on this one in the past is that originally the sticker price on it was $80. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure what this will sell for. It probably will sell for more than 80, but you could see the price was lowered to 50, and then the vendor told me today that everything is half price off of the sticker. So he's just trying to reset his inventory this year. So this is now $25. Looks like there might be some tape on the binding there, but you know, that's not unusual for, you know, a book of this size from 1943. I love that it has the little devil on it. It's just incredible. So I'm gonna pick this up for the 25 bucks, and you know, we'll see what we get out of this. I think a collector's gonna pay up for this though. So, you know, I'll show you the price once I've done a little bit more research into it. But my goodness, what a cool find. All right, well, I mentioned that I'm looking for some Valentine's Day items. It's January, so this is a good example of one, and you're just not going to come across as often. This is from 1979. It's got Bugs Bunny on it with the Will You Be My Valentine on it. This is a TV guide insert. So this comes from Massachusetts. There's probably not too many of these around. And this is what you had to do back in the day. I remember looking in things like this. They came in the newspapers, and then of course there was a small TV guide digest where you would look and see what was coming on the TV, like Barney Miller, and it would tell you what channels it was on and what time that was on. And that's how you'd find out. Oh, look at this, Doctor Who, Pyramids of Mars. I literally just watched this episode with my son 2 nights ago. It's with Tom Baker. It's a really cool episode. But anyway, getting back to this. This is pretty neat. You know who would want this is a Bugs Bunny collector. Warner Brothers collector would love this. So we'll see how much it costs. How much is this?
$10 on it.
$10 on it? All right. Is that the best you do on it?
Yeah. Yeah, we did clean out some.
Yeah.
Actually, it's nice.
Yeah. I don't come across it often.
Yeah.
I think I'll take a shot.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going to find
Yeah,
it with
yeah.
condition like that?
Yeah. I think I'll take a shot at it. Thank you. All right, so I picked it up for the $10. I do not know what we could get out of this. Probably no more than 50, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. All right, now here's something you definitely don't come across every day. This is a King Cobra candle holder. Look at that serpentine bottom. I absolutely love this. This would be worth about $48, so I don't want to pay more than $10 for this. So we'll see what we could get this for. Let's ask and figure it out. What do you got on the Cobra candle holder?
15.
Okay, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. Different.
Yeah, for sure. Would you do 10 on it?
Yeah, I'll do 10.
All right, I like it for 10. Love the colors on this thing. It's really cool. I've never seen one like this before. How cool is this? $10, definitely a good deal. All right, so we're at the flea market, and I came across this interesting cast iron bank, and as you can see here, it says Monkey Bank on it. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I love these old cast iron banks. Now, this one has a mechanical element to it. What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to take a coin like this, put it in the monkey's mouth, and then there's that spring mechanism inside that's supposed to bring the monkey up like this, and then I'll take it out for a second so you can see. And so he would go up like that, and then he would deposit, see how his head goes in there like that? He would deposit the coin in there. So there are coins in here. You could hear that. There's a stopper on the bottom. And there's one of these that's sold by a different company. This one might be a more modern replica, but there was one sold by Hawthorne for $85. Now the problem here is that the spring mechanism is not working. So it's supposed to just naturally go up. So the problem is, we look in here, you can see, let's see if I can get a good visual on the spring inside. See, there's this hook right here. There is a spring in there. All right, there we go. So I tipped this forward a bit, and there you could see that's the part that needs to loop onto the hook there. So that should be something that I could, do back at PTHQ, is pull that back up onto there and get it working again. So we will see. Because of that problem, now you see the original price here on is 25. He said he would sell it for 20 bucks. So that's kind of cool too, how it spins around up there. So we're gonna get this for 20 bucks and then try to do the repair. There's not currently one listed, so we'll see. I'll try to get it listed for somewhere between like 85 and 100 or so. Could probably sell it for a little bit more if I could get it fixed. So we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna go try to get this for the 20. Well, I shouldn't say try to get it for the 20. He did offer to sell this for 20 bucks. So we'll pick it up for the 20 and see if we can fix it up. All right, so here we are back at PTHQ, and you can see here that I popped the stopper off on the bottom. There's 12 cents that came out of there. So nothing more than that. And I was able to get the spring coil back onto the hook, but unfortunately the hook doesn't have more of a groove for it to latch onto. So as a result, even though you could extend it like this, when it goes down, it falls off like that. You see that? So it must be that this spring is just busted. Initially, it was probably very, tightly wound, and that's how it worked. So whoever buys this, I'm just gonna have to disclose that you're gonna have to manually operate it. And it's still cool, probably won't sell for as much, but still a cool item nonetheless. Maybe a Donkey Kong fan would like something like this. Definitely good that there's not another one on the market, because that'll help me move it faster. And who knows, maybe someone who's good with repair or something could, get a better spring in there so it works just naturally instead of having to manually do it. But anyway, sometimes you got to take a gamble. All right, so here we have something valuable hiding in plain sight. It's this Boda Flag set of glass appetizer and dessert dishes. Really cool that it comes in the original box. You could tell that it's vintage, has a little staining on it, but it doesn't matter because you don't often find these boxes often. And it's also good that the staining's not on the top here, which is the area that someone would want to display more. So if we take it out, you could see them here. They're partitioned off, which is good for shipping purposes. And you could see these are in nice shape. There's no chips, cracks, or anything like that. And the price is only $3. Now, if you were to try to look these up on eBay, you're not gonna see them listed, and you're not gonna see them sold in the last 90 days either. You're not gonna see any listed in the last 90 days. In order to find a comp on this, what you have to do is you have to use eBay's TerraPeak program, and you could use that on the app now. Currently, as of the end of 2024, you have to hit the sell button, and then you have to click research, and then you have to set it to a 3-year back search. And if you do that, you could see that there was one of these. It seems like it was this one because it described it as Boda Flag dessert and appetizer dishes, and it's sold for $90 plus about 15 bucks shipping, so over $100. So you have to know how to research these items that the average person, is just not going to know about in terms of looking up values. And it's free, and it doesn't cost you anything with your eBay account. So $3, we're definitely going to pick this one up. Some of you might be looking over at this one here, this porcelain fan vase, which it's at a good price, $3. I would have picked it up if it didn't have chipping on it. So you can see there, it's hard to sometimes see this stuff. You really have to look closely. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it up on it for that reason. But this one for $3 seems like a great deal. So let's snag this one. And this is a great find. All right, check this out. This is a crazy find. I love Grateful Dead stuff, and I love 3D signs, and I love things with lots of color on it. And look at this thing. I mean, this thing really pops. It's so cool. It's way better if you see it in person because you could really appreciate the 3D depth on this. There's the back right there. So originally, this was a collage poster by Maureen Callahan, and they're pretty valuable when you could find them. The original poster prints, that is. I mean, this is a 3D version of it, so I really don't know what this would go for, but the price on it is just 15 bucks. So I think I'm just going to take a chance on this one and go for $15 and see what we could do on it. See how it moves a little bit like that? How neat is that? Grateful Dead fans, I mean, you know, for those of you end user Grateful Dead fans who collect this stuff, how much would you pay for something like this? This is really neat. I love it, and you could just stare at this for so long and see all these cool images here. So yeah, there's a little glare there from the light, but yeah, it's in great shape. So we'll get this one for 15 bucks. All right, as you can see, I'm still at the flea market. I want to show you a pair of items that I just sourced, and I want your opinion here on if this was a good deal or if you think I made a big mistake. So let me show you this. Now, the reason I'm showing them to you here and not in there right now is because when I sourced them, they started blasting Eye of the Tiger over the radio. Now, as it turns out, Eye of the Tiger is one of my favorite songs, and I joke it's one of my lucky songs, especially when I'm sourcing. I love when Eye of the Tiger is playing, except when I'm making a video. So these are Chalkware wall hangings. They're nice and vintage. As you can see, it's this 3D French Victorian look. So there's a lot of people who would like something like this. But you have to be careful with vintage Chalkware pieces because they are prone to chipping and cracking and breaking. So I wanted to make sure I looked these over very thoroughly before purchasing. So the areas where you would tend to find chips and cracks on these would be right around the edges. I did not see or feel any cracks or chips in those areas. Tiny bit of, you know, paint loss here and there, but that's no big deal. Overall, the paint is very nice on it, bright and colorful. Other areas where you would look for chipping and cracking and breakages would be in the neck area, and so there tend to be repairs in those spots. Sometimes the repair is pretty good and it's a pretty thin line you have to look for, but no chips or cracks there. So another area where you have to look for chips or cracks would be any item or object that someone is holding, and in this example we have the bird. So here's the question. When I looked at a sold comp for this pair, now keep in mind that the sold comp is similar in appearance to these two, but they're not exact. There are some differences in the design. I'll flash it on the screen. And there's also a pair listed on Cherish right now. That's a fancy resale website for expensive, tends to be more expensive items. Again, very similar, but not exact, okay? But when you look at those and you look at the head of the bird, you could see a clear head with what looks like, you know, eyes on the head. In this example, we don't see that. We see what looks like a more abstract design for the head. So the question is, was the head chopped off at some point? Now, one of the ways to try to figure that out is to feel this area with your finger, and it is super, super smooth. There is not any type of jagged or rough texture to it at all. The other thing is to look at the paint on it and to try to get a sense of if this was a later touch-up or if it looks like the original paint. And to me, this looks like the original gold paint on it. And I'm gonna zoom in on it so you can get a sense of how smooth that is and how similar in appearance the color looks. So weigh in the comment section if you think that is the original design to it, purposely designed to look abstract, or do you think that there was a head there that was snapped off at some point? I am hoping and taking a chance that this was not broken off and this is just an abstract design to it. And this is why you have to be careful when sourcing and trying to make sure you're getting items for, you know, the lowest price that you can so that you're minimizing risk. This situation is high risk, high reward, because you're gonna have to pay up generally for something like this. So the asking price on it for the pair, as you could see here, was $65. Now, when the guy saw me looking at these, without me even asking, he said that he would sell them to me for 60 bucks. So I'll try to show the clip if I can put it together with the music in the background. I have to try to cover it up with some other music, but I asked if he'd do 50. That's really where I wanted to be at these, but he said he'd do 55, and I took the deal for 55. Now, in terms of a sold comp on it, a similar set sold for $180 plus $20 shipping. There's not a set of these currently listed on eBay. There is a set listed on Cherish for $290. So what do you think? That's the deal, 55 bucks. I'm gonna try to list these probably from somewhere between 200, 290, maybe 250 would be kind of like a good middle point on it. We'll see. So I'll try to show you the clip if I can, but if not, that's the deal, and curious what your thoughts are on it. All right, now maybe some of you paused the video and entered a comment on what you thought about this head here, but I was able to do a little bit more research, and I found someone who had listed one of these on Facebook Marketplace. It's just colored a little bit different, but it's the same type of design. And from what I could tell, I mean, the picture's not perfect, it's a little fuzzy, but it does look like this is how it was created in an abstract design like that. So all the indicators seem to point to this being the original design. You can do 50 on them?
I found these like something like this and I wanted to
55?
Yeah.
All right, 55.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Hey Daisy, what's going on? You're in your favorite spot? You're in your begging mode for treats? You just got up from my nap. Wag for all your fans. Wag that tail for all your fans. Who's more excited about the treat, you or me? You or me. All right, let's go find that treat for you. We first have to go past the land of Mountain Dew bottles. So then we'll find Daisy's treat there. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, over here, Daisy. Come here. Here we go. Here you go. Here you go. Enjoy. Whoa, whoa, coming right up to the camera for that one. And there she goes. Take care, everyone.